Hello, everyone, and welcome to Outcasts. Today we have Koala Army going up against Sins on Prokhorovka, followed by Ensk in an 8 versus 8 encounter battle. And there is a 3-minute delay today, so keeping up with chat is going to be very, very difficult. That's what's going on today. And we're testing out the 3 minutes. I'm hoping 3 minutes is long enough and we don't have to go any longer than that. And we're still in beta, of course, for Outcasts. And Wednesday Night Fights does the full match delayed. So if they have a 7-minute match, they're going to delay the stream for 7 minutes. I don't think that's necessary. I think 3 will be long enough. Because 3 minutes is a long time to be somewhere else. In fact, you could move even some of the slowest tanks from one side of the map to the other within 3 minutes. So I think 3 minutes is going to be long enough. And I think if you do decide to watch the stream to get an advantage, you'll really be putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're going to be delayed in reacting to everything. So I think 3 minutes is long enough. Now this game, I don't think is going to be starting, well, hopefully we'll be starting within the next 5 minutes. That's the plan anyway. Do I have any invites? No. And I think I'm solo commentating today, but that's okay. We'll make sure to keep it lively. And this I think we mentioned before, this is a best of 5. Tier 10. Prokhorovka encounter. Prokhorovka is definitely one of my favorites. I do thoroughly enjoy Prokhorovka for this kind of a thing. And hello, Duke and Patrick over in YouTube chat. Welcome, welcome. Of course, they're not going to be hearing me say hello for another 3 minutes. But that is the case. So, in the meantime, shall we go see what's in the news, if there's anything in the news today? And perhaps we should get some battle music going as well. I think that would be a good idea. Walk classic. Shuffle this bad boy and play. Whoa, that's loud. People are deaf now. Classic World of Tanks. You should be able to hear that, perhaps. But I won't know for another 3 minutes. Whoop. So we'll find out. Maybe it's too loud, maybe it's too soft, who knows? I have the storm. Anyway, let's go see. Let's go to the news for a little while while we wait for this. We've been actually pinged. What do they want? Nothing. Oh, okay. SU 1:30 p.m. Hunt down your enemies. What do we got? Great mobility, not very true. Yes and no at the same time. Massive 130, this is true. Excellent camouflage, this is true as well. Well, that's a nice picture. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, no, go back. Oh. We're gonna just take this real quick. This is now mine. Thank you. Somebody just followed. Thanks for the follow. Doctor, sure. Doctor, sir, welcome. Welcome aboard. But I'm taking that picture. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's it. Wow, this is one of the lamest posts out there. Oh yeah, but that's a cool picture. For sure. And fix this and this. There we go. Alright. You friended me? Okay. I'm gonna appear offline now? Well, I appeared online just so I could get invited here, but now I am here. So we'll see. Sins has a big roster for sure, but they've only got 7 showing up right now. You agree that the Absolution needs nerfing? Yeah, I mean, people can deal with the Absolution for sure. Like, oh, actually, if you know how to kill an Absolution, it's fine. Even if you know how to kill an Absolution, it's still going to beat you one-on-one, and you have to hope your shells always fly straight. Like, if you saw my replay yesterday in the TOG, the first one, we had a couple of shells aiming at the broadside of the Absolution right at his drive wheel miss his hull, and that's RNG for you. And yeah, so even if you know how to kill an absolution, it's still gonna beat you in a one-on-one, no matter how good you are, as long as he's allowed to bumper right trigger you, which in a lot of the cases they are able to do. Are we allowing spectators today? That's a good question. That is a fantastic question. Let's see, we're getting pinged again. No, that's from somebody else. From someone else. A friend who's like, hey, let's do some Minecraft. I'm like, I wish I could. But today we're live streaming. And don't expect more live streams on Saturday. This is just a special thing. Saturdays, I like to keep Saturdays free for myself. I like to have a nice... I like Saturdays, I like those being as my day off, where I don't play tanks. I don't worry about tanks. I don't look at the news. I don't make any videos. And I just enjoy my time. So today's going to be one of the only Saturdays we actually stream. From now on, these battles will be streamed on Thursdays. Thursday evenings we'll be streaming these. Hopefully every Thursday, which will be cool. That would be cool indeed. So yeah. Hello, Blue. Hello, Woolcloth. The idea you messaged me on Discord. Let me take a look again. You're Diane. I get a lot of messages on Discord every day. Yeah. Is your username the same? Because I don't know who you are. But yeah, right now we're just talking. We're still waiting. It looks like they need one more player. Two more now to fill this roster. Let's see if they need any outcasts. Oh, Koala's already on it. Glad he's on it. So, I would normally be hosting this match, or hosting the room, but Koala was already on it and doing it, and plus he is a moderator in the server. So he may as well. And so what he has done to make this go a lot more smoothly than what I did 2 days ago is he has, for those of you who want to moderate the games, what he did was he locked the room, made it private, so you could only get invited to it. And then he invited the leader, which is Backkick of Sins. And then Backkick invited all of his guys, while Koala invited all of his guys. So that's what he's done, why this is going a whole lot more smoothly than my game. So that's cool. Hello, Dan. How are you doing? 3-minute delay, by the way. I sound like a robot? Fixed? I don't know why there was an echo. Oh, I know why there was an echo. So when I use this, now there's 2 of me. Hello, hello, hello. Let me mute that. There we go. Fixed. That won't happen again. I can assure you of that. I just downloaded War Thunder today on my... Well, not on my Xbox. On someone else's Xbox. And I played it a little bit. It's pretty fun. Oh, and good news. Good news. Ladies and gentlemen, I bought a PlayStation 4. We can start streaming PlayStation 4 matches. Oh. Alright, here we go. Alright, they made it public. This is scary stuff. Lone Killer. Should we have a co-commentator, guys? Huh. Lone Killer, I'm sure he'd like to co-commentate. Yeah, I think we can get this guy in. Let's get a co-commentator. Or maybe it would be better for me to just commentate today. See how I do solo. You know, and I would ask you guys, but then I'd have to wait 3 minutes for a response, and then by then the game may have started. let's see how we do with the first game. If I feel comfortable with commentating by myself, I'll stay by myself. But if it sounds like there's something missing, then we'll bring him in. I usually just, as soon as the game starts, I go off and I start talking, and I would drown out the other commentators because I'm a terrible person. Speaking of, I've just gone through all of my water already. Let's see. Okay, so the game is supposed to start, of course, at 3. And now it's 3:04. For you guys, it's going to be 3:07. And, yeah, a little bit, they seem to be late. Oh, you're dying. Okay. Oh, the Mythbusters? I don't think I'm going to be doing the Mythbusters anytime soon on the channel. Because we have other things we're working on. Like this. This is kind of take up a lot of the channel right now. Alright, it's 3:05. We gotta get this going. Time's a-wasting! I'm getting older over here. As unfortunate as it is. But that's just the case. I'm getting old. Help me. Hey, Shinji, welcome. 3-minute delay. There we go. There's another player. Hopefully it's... Actually, that player tag looks like some random player. Biped Imp 7281272. That doesn't sound like a real gamer tag. That's probably self-generated or Xbox generated, so that might be some noob. How about we look him up, guys? Let's look him up. Let's look up this random guy's stats. Oh, he's gone. Never mind. Oh well. He gone. Hey, Circon's streaming right now. We should watch him while we wait, you know? You know what I mean? Probably not a terrible idea. What's the program that you're using for streaming? The one you were just editing your voice with? It's OBS. OBS Studios. I use an older version of OBS because I like it. I don't see a reason to upgrade it right now because it still runs fine for me. So I haven't been updating it, but yeah, it's OBS. Open Broadcast Software, I think is what it's called. By the way, we may as well take a look at it, you know? Whoop. Wow, this is what it is. You can see the screen. Wow. And, yeah, you have all these inputs and outputs, like my Blue Yeti, which I don't have. Can I delete this? There's a way to, I just don't know how to. Maybe hide? Yeah. Siren X, which hasn't been working for me. Desktop audio headset. My headset is upstairs, so I'm not using that. But yeah, then you add, like, your Snow Yeti. Oh, we don't need this. This is where you remove it. There we go. And we don't need this. There we go. I would go into settings, but it has all sorts of things in there. But yeah, it's just OBS. That's what it's called. And then we have all of these things. This has my face cam. This is a different input if I was playing with AK when he was over. I had 2 capture cards hooked up. This is the intro. This is what I click on to uninstall the game. It uninstalls the game. I record myself doing that. This is World Warships intro. This is my webcam only. This is the 260 intro, and then this is what we're using right now to have the score in the top. These Outcasts. Oh, my screen is dim. We're still waiting on one more player. Maybe they just want me to play with them, you know? Oh, wait, what's this? Ping. Okay. I'm gonna pick 7 on it. Maybe just do a 7. Oh, 1 is loading in. Okay, we're starting. So in case, once again, if you guys want to moderate or you want to play and you're confused what I'm using right now, to see what's going on, switch to screen. In the Discord, we're in battle chat. This is where these guys are talking to each other so that everybody knows what's going on. Okay, so that's what we're using right now. If that makes sense. Stream is glitching? Nope. Stream should be fine. We have not lost any frames, so if you've lost frames, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about that, because we have not dropped any. Is it open for anyone to join? Nope. This is a match put together by these players playing now. And if you want to put together a match, make sure you join the Discord. Do I have a link to this Discord in my description? I do not. I will get that right now. Doop, doop. Boop, boop. Join Outcasts. Invite people. We want Aspire after never. Generate link. Copy. There we go. Now if you refresh the stream, it will be there in just a moment. There we go. That is there now. I'm going to have to regrind all the lines on PlayStation 4, perhaps, but I only need it to spectate these matches on PlayStation 4. So, I don't really need tanks on there. Anyway, we're getting into this now. We are actually starting. Let's turn the music down even further. We'll just have it in the very, 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 very background. There we go. 5 should be good. So, what is Sin's pullout? We have a T100 LT, and this is, of course, Prokhorovka, so a T100 is a fantastic choice. It is actually a tank I would probably call for on this map, indeed. An M60, an M48 Patton, a Chisel, an Object 277, a T110 E5, and an E100, and now a T95 E6, and one player left or was kicked. Probably wasn't an actual player. Then over here, oh, no, he's back. It's Lone Killer. Oh, yeah, that's right there. This is Lone Killer. I think he wants to go commentate. We're gonna do a solo commentary for now, just to see how we do. There we go. Okay, and then over on Koala Army, we have a 430U, which isn't the greatest for competitive, but its armor will get some troll bounces from time to time. Depends what's being shot at it. The 430U is not the tank you want to focus out. If you are fighting against a 430U, you definitely want to be shooting the 430s first, the Bat Chats first, the Chieftains first. The 430U has bad DPM and has more armor, so it's a little bit harder to kill, so you kind of want to save it for later. Get the scarier guns out of the game first. So that's why they've chosen that one. And we'll see how Sins does with the 430U, if they're going to focus it out first or ignore it and take out the more dangerous tanks. Then we have 2 5As, a Leopard 1, a Bat Chat 25T, and a Chieftain. Some fairly mobile heavies. No real armor on that team, but we do have an E100 over on Sin's team, which is quite an interesting choice for this map. Every single other tank is a very good choice. I would probably prefer a Chieftain over the E5 here on Prokhorovka, but if they're going to play a more aggressive role with their tanks, the E5 will do better just because of its stronger hull. So we'll see how they do, what kind of plays they're going to do. There's a lot of DPM on the Koala Army team, which suggests to me that they're probably, what they're going to do is roll straight up to the middle. Then as soon as the enemy team kind of splits up at all, they're going to push right over and punish them for making any mistakes. I think that's what's going to be happening here on Prokhorovka. Ooh, water. Let's drink some more water, shall we? Meanwhile, for Sins, with their setup, what I think they need to do is try to get the E100 into play rather quickly and try to get him to take the hits for the team while the team does the damage. So we're going to have to see what happens here. We have Koala Army spawning in the north, and then over in the south we have Sins. And this is encounter, so the encounter is over here on the other side of the railroad. And the thing about this encounter, which I really like and have some fun with, is from the north side, you can actually throw some people behind these buildings here. 1 or 2 tanks right here. This is a really good spot. Throw him right here, and he's almost perfectly safe. Then you throw some hull down tanks up here. And what they can do is they can shoot anyone who tries to reset him. And that's a really good way to get a nice crossfire going and get people to make mistakes. But it doesn't look like that's... Actually, it looks like that could be the play they're making, perhaps. T1, the Bat Chat does take a hit, and that's the one issue with using a Bat Chat instead of a light tank, is the Bat Chat is a little bit bigger, a little bit slower, a little bit easier to hit. The T100, on the other hand, doesn't have quite the firepower, but it's a lot harder to hit. So you have some trade-offs. Do you want to be bigger but slower with a better gun? Or do you want to be faster, more maneuverable, harder to hit, but with a kind of not a very good gun? And that seems to be what they've gone with here. And it looks like Koala Army is not going to be pushing the cap circle. They're instead going to be setting up a crossfire. They're not really worrying about the cap. The E5 gets enough gun depression to shoot the 430. Does pen him there. But as you can see up here, these guys, this Leopard 1 especially, is going to be incredibly dangerous up on this hill if he's able to get some shots. But it doesn't look like they're going for shots. It looks like they're just going for a straight-up flank. Perhaps they're sending the 430s to do what they need to do. Some crashing here. What I would do is I would keep the Leopard 1 up top, especially since he's the caller. What he can do from up here is he can put shots in, survey the battlefield, and tell people where they need to go. Meanwhile, on the other side, who are these guys? Sins. Sorry. What they're doing now is so far pretty good. They are winning on hit points, and they do have an overmatch. Other than these guys who've kind of pulled away, if these guys were to rejoin this group right here, they could potentially win this right here, right now. They push into these 3 and kill these 3 guys right now. Yes, those guys get to shoot them, but the DPM advantage would be too great. Now these 430s are behind, and they're going to start putting in rear shots. And as you can see, the T100 has already taken a hit. E5 has already taken a hit, and now they're going to go into a panic mode. Of course, Sins is a new competitive team, so we'll see how they deal with this sudden flank. Are they going to fall apart, or are they going to be able to pull this one out? Now Koala Army is going for the overmatch, which they do have. The E5 who pulled away is now not in a position to help, nor is the M48 Patton. And they may go down. They're going to focus out the T95 E6 first, the tank with the most DPM. Then after this, they're probably going to go for the E100 just because he's already low on health. Then from there, they're probably going to take out the Chisel, and that appears to be the case. The T100 ran in a little bit too soon, or too late, should I say, and the E100, in fact, is going to go down. Hit points are still very, very even. In fact, it looks like Sins is still winning on hit points. Not anymore. They finally go down on hit points, but just barely. If the T100 can get out of this alive, they may be able to come back, but instead he's going down fighting, and he is going to die. The 5A dies, but now the T100 does die, and now suddenly the overmatch is back on Sins. They have 2 tanks they need to kill right here, and they're back in this game, and they do have, like I said, more tanks here. Who's going to win it? E5 bounces shot off the Chieftain, but the 277 is fighting Koala by himself. Unfortunately, he's on the wrong side of the ridge, and because of that, the rest of the team are able to put shells into him. If he had gone over the ridge right here, he would be underneath their guns and be able to take Koala by himself, and he would have been able to beat him, but he's unable to do that. And now it's just these guys. Then another tank goes down. Triple Dubs dies. What was Triple Dubs in? He was in the Chieftain. Chieftain dies. The hit points are still very, very even. Another shot. E5 throws in. Excuse me. Whew. I need some water real quick before I continue. I dry very, very, very quickly. Excuse me. There we go. We're back. So, the hit point advantage is just... It's exactly the same, 32%, 32%, but there are more guns on Koala's team right now. Excuse me. Whew. But we're getting into this. What they need to maybe try to do is get this M60 into the game. He's not really doing anything right now. What he could potentially do is go after that leopard. You know where he is. You know he's by himself. You have all these guys spotted. You know where they are. And you know the leopard is by himself. I think what I would have done is I would have had the M60 execute the leopard one. But it looks like they were a little bit too slow to do so. The bat chat's going to be going up top and trying to get side shots in, and this Patton is not in a good spot. He is going to be caught out here in just a couple of seconds by the bat chat, who's going to be putting in some very effective shots, most likely, along with the Leopard 1, who will be joining him up there as well. Leopard 1 was able to disengage and is going to be able to get on the hill for free. That's something people don't realize. Leopard 1 is very, very good on this map. Leopard 1 isn't used for competitive very much, but I've seen it used on this map multiple times, and multiple times I've seen it pull off phenomenal games. However, another tank goes down. If Koala is going to do some damage to win this game, they need to get into a position right now. The Leopard 1 and Batchat need to start putting shots in, because right now they're doing nothing for the team, and it's a 3 versus 2. At the same time, though, this M60 has done nothing. He's still sitting in position, waiting for somebody to cross. But they're not there anymore. They're on the hill now. However, they don't know that. Here comes the 430. The 430 may get caught. He's not going to be. Both teams have disengaged, and nobody knows where anybody is anymore. This is pretty crazy. The 430 spots the Patton in the E5, so now Koala Army does have the advantage of knowing where the enemy is. There's M60 is now spotted finally. Let's take a look at these loadouts, because we might be at a bit of a stalemate right now. Lots of AP here. Small everything right there. APCR, once again, everything small. No fire extinguisher. Can be a risk, but at the same time, if you get double ammo racked or double tracked, the second repair kit is very useful to have. Again, 2 repair kits. Looks like he's already used his med kit. He's up to 3,600 damage. He's had himself a very good game so far. E5 is also up to 3,000 damage. He did put himself in a very good position and was putting effective shots in very early on and has been doing so ever since. The 430 has been playing very support. Been doing a fantastic job at it, flanking one side to the other. Good tanks at that. They just weren't quite put in the most effective positions, because every time they seem to get somewhere, suddenly the E5 is there to counter them. But here we go. What have we got? The Patton. Uh-oh, he gets tracked. He might be done. The Batchat has put himself in a very good position. Will he get the kill? Who's going to kill who? The Batchat might go down here. Oh, he bounces off the Batchat upper hull, which is very easy to do. The Batchat was pulling back, and so the upper plate was very hyper angled, and because of that, he bounces off, which is going to be rough. Insanely rough for Sins to come back from, because now the Batchat's going to reload and be able to ambush them. This M60 is still doing nothing right now where he is. I don't know why he's still in the dip. There's no reason to be here anymore. You know where everyone is. What he should be doing now is he should be pulling up on the other side of this ridge right here, and then from here he can have a crossfire on this 5A and eliminate him before the 5A kills the E5. If he's able to get himself right here, he can easily put a shot in, and no one else will actually have shots on him, and that will give Sins the play. And he's actually is moving up. Is he going to do this? He needs to go to the next one. He is. This may be killer for Koala Army. As soon as this guy shows up, this 5A is going to be at a huge disadvantage, because it looks like they might be getting ready to push the E5. And if that's the case... No, he's pulling back now. Here's the M60. He gets spotted finally, but he's putting himself in a position. He's going to have really good shots. He's got full health right now. He needs to be willing to use them. He's got really good shots on this 5A. He needs to put them in. He takes the hit. The 5A is now reloading. What he should do is, while he's reloading, poke up and shoot him. Now remember, not all these guys have played competitive before, and they're very new to the competitive play. And that's what you need to do. You need to win every trade if you want to win in competitive. The 5A shot, you're safe to shoot him. He pulls back again, even though no one is looking at him. What he needs to do, he just needs to pull up and kill that 5A. That's his job right now, but he's going to be pulling away. He's not going to have shots on the cap circle. The 430 is going to capture this base. What needs to happen is he needs to kill this 5A and then just roll in and kill the 430. They seem to have forgotten that there is a cap circle in play. He is going the very long way around, and it's going to take him more than 20 seconds to get around. And I think this is going to be a loss for Sins, and Koala Army are going to take it. And this is just because of lack of experience from both sides, really. Because the play, or the position that Sins have put themselves in is actually really, really good. And they did, in fact, have pretty much the win. If this M60 had shot the 5A, they would have won, because from there he could then go after the 430 and win that fight, and then it would have been a 2-on-2 with Sins having more health over the Koala Army. And as you can see, the play by the M60 sitting in that bowl, he sat in the bowl far too long. I'm wondering if perhaps they had a party error or something. But he should have got himself into the fight. He had far too much health as well. But what can you do? I mean, like I said, most of these guys have never done competitive before, so maybe they'll watch this again, realize the mistakes they made, and then fix them for the next time. But the first game is going to have to go to Koala Army. Mr. Silent Gamer, thanks so much for subscribing. There is a 3-minute delay. Welcome aboard, and we really, really do appreciate it indeed. But welcome. But that is the first match going to Koala Army. Very, very close. Both teams had almost no health left. 5A was a 1-shot. Batchat was a 1-shot. Leopard was a 2-shot. And the 430 was a 2-shot. Good game all around. Everybody on Koala did some good damage. And that was the one difference between the two of them. Had this T95E6 and M60 done even a little bit of damage, the game would have been completely different. But as you can see, consistent damage throughout the board is what won the game. All right, let's update that leaderboard now. Give Koala Army a bit of a win. There we go. Oop, there we go. Take one away. And add 1 point. Koala Army 1, Sins 0. And I'm going to have to say the play of the game... Oh, that's tough. It's tough to give a play of the game for this one, because Koala Army stayed together so very well. They really, really did. But I'm going to have to give it, believe it or not, to the Sins side. I think the plays the E5 made were very good. He was always in a position to do damage the entire game. He stayed alive a very long time as well. But both these guys did play phenomenally. But on the other side, like I said, everybody played very, very, very well. It was very spread out indeed. But I think the play of the game, I'll give to the 430 for jumping on that cap circle. He caused the panic, I think, in Sins, and then allowed Koala Army to win the game for sure. And it's a good team play. You're out there, you want to do damage, but then your commander says, "Nope, go cap the base," and you got to do what he says. If you do what he says, you win, right? And that's what he did, and they win the game because of it. Congratulations for your first victory, Koala Army. It is a best of 5, so we'll see who takes down the next one. And let's take a look at the setups. Let's also make sure I'm not missing any messages, which I could possibly be doing. Dun dun dun. Let's see. There we go. All right. Over on... Oh, wow, look at that. It's a very, very similar setup to what they had last time over on Sins, except this time they have an Action X instead of a T100. I think they realized the T100 didn't do as much last time as it could have, but I also think the T100 was a fantastic choice. The T100 should have run when the E100 was definitely going to die. The E100 was going to die, and so was the Chisel. At that point, you leave. There's no point staying and dying in competitive. The only time you would want to stay and die is if that's your job. You've been put there to hold on as long as you can. A light tank's job, especially on Prokhorovka, is to stay alive and extend your vision. That's what you need a light tank for. And I think if they had kept their light tank alive, it also would have been a completely different game, because then their Batchat and Leopard wouldn't have been able to flank around so much, because their T100 could keep them spotted and could have executed the Leopard earlier in the game. So instead of using a T100, they've gone with an Action X. And in the situation they were in, some more damage probably would have done with the Action X than in the T100 as well. So it's an interesting choice, and so we'll see how it pays off. That's for sure. But let's. How's the music, by the way? Is the music okay? Is it doing okay? That's a good question. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, Sam, you're supposed to. I'm just gonna say it in the same thing. Yes, AX is not sins. Take ice off them. Spec. Okay, we're paying him. Hopefully they get the message. So the Action X is not actually part of the team. So hopefully he'll get this message in time. But these guys... There you go. He noticed. Perfect. There we go. Perfection. Alright, what did he pull out? A Super Conqueror. Fantastic choice for this map. Another tank that would have been so powerful for sure if he was in the same position as the E5. That last game, they would have been dominating together. So, that's a good play for sure. Ice is gone. Alright, so what happened there is he clicked B instead of tank selection. And that caused him to leave to the garage. Leave the game completely. It happens a lot, not gonna lie. But normally somebody else would be hosting the room. Like it would be me. I should be hosting the room right now, but they've already decided on Koala, so he's hosting right now. SHNS has terrible internet. No. Well, that's terrible. So apparently, Warrior here in his M60 has really, really bad internet. So I don't know if that means he's disconnecting from the party. That's what I think is happening. Was happening, but who knows. And of course, he's probably never done competitive before. There we go. The Action X finally got kicked. Perfect. He pulls out a Chieftain. All right. Alright, and the lineup over on the other side, instead of 430s, they went with an IS-7 and an extra Chieftain. I like that, but I also, on this map, my favorite tanks to choose have to be the Russian mediums. Your mobility and your DPM and your troll armor is very strong. You can roll around and just isolate tanks. You can just YOLO down the one line and kill everyone in your path, and you wolf pack together, and anyone that gets in your way you just kill. And it's very disorienting for the enemy team to focus shots, focus fire, and eliminate tanks. Meanwhile, you guys as the Russian mediums are just calling out shots, calling tanks and circling, killing it within 10 seconds and then moving on to the next one. It's devastating. But instead they've elected an IS-7 and a Chieftain. But now the sides are swapped. What's going to happen this time? Who knows? I don't. They do, though. They know what's going to happen. Well, they don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm sure they know what tanks where they want to put their tanks, you know? What does director camera do? What the heck? What am I doing? What is this? What's going on? Director camera. This is actually pretty cool. It's following them. I don't know why I'm here. Well, we're learning things. Oh, look at that. That's cool. It's automatically like switching. There we go. From side to side. We can just watch them like this. This is kind of cool. Except there's a building in the way. Let's go back to free camera. Alright, it looks like it's going to be a fight for the middle. As we have... I would argue... both teams have chosen very strong hold-down tanks. And again, Sin seems to be throwing someone into the bowl by himself. But this time there is a Chieftain and a 5A to stop him from doing so. E100 is rolling into the battle, and Sins has taken the hill. However, where they are positioned, they are getting spotted. What they should have done, of course this is a learning experience, is what they could have done is from here, they have just as effective shots, if not better. And they're further back so they do not get spotted. But it doesn't matter, these guys are going to spot them anyway. And that's what has happened. They are now spotted, but they have the overmatch here. If they could get across without getting spotted, if they could find time, they could isolate and overmatch these two players and eliminate them from the game rather rapidly. But that would be very difficult to do, considering Koala Army has, in fact, put a lot of their forces into the middle of the map. Ian has taken a couple of hits now, and because of that, Koala Army is down on hit points. However, he's pulling back, and now the Chieftain has taken the middle. And he's going to be using his gun depression here to slaughter this E5 and this E100. This is almost a GG play. If he's able to get his gun into the game and start shooting the E5, which he has nice side shots on, he needs to not tunnel vision on the Chieftain, but kill that E5. He does have good shots on this E5, as you can see. There's the E5 right there. See those shots he could have right now? Look at this. Shooting right across this. He has the side hull of him. And right now, he can put it straight into the side turret. Nice, easy shots on the Chieftain. But yet again, like I said, these players are probably fairly new to the competitive play, and they'll only get better. Now what Koala should be doing, he's a very good player, is he should be rolling all the way up over to here into these bushes, because these bushes are actually really strong bushes that will keep you covered, and he'll be able to take apart this Chieftain rather quickly. So he can take down the Chieftain, while Days Chaos takes down the E5, and they'll have a nice crossfire going, and they'll be able to win this game rather rapidly. This is going to be very difficult for Sins to fight out of, because they are losing hit points and are now in multiple crossfires. However, Sins are making a play on the 430 in the bat chat, but they've decided to focus out the 430, which they need to be doing the bat chat. There we go. Now they're shooting the bat chat. That's what he needs to do. He goes for the ram, and he gets it. 922 damage on the ram. He's going to go down, and they're going to win this engagement for sure. He needs to finish off the bat chat, which he does. And now this 430 does not have much time left to live in the world. Meanwhile, back on the other side, excuse me, the overmatch has been completely recognized, and they're pushing hardcore into them. The E100 is going to go down, but the 277 will probably put in some good shots. The 277, what he should be doing is trying to put shots into the Chieftain before he dies, but we'll see if he's able to get off another shot. He does, and he puts it into the 5A, but now everyone else is going to be shooting him, and all that's going to be left are these medium tanks. T95 E6, and these Pattons. And I am going to take another swig of water. Yum. Water's good, you know. Back to the other side. This guy has kind of stayed here a little bit too long. He is about to get, well, dead, is the nice way of putting it. 5A misses his shot on the move, but the return fire from T95 does not miss, and he's going to turn his hull. Leaving cover now, he's going to take some hits from the side. Yes, he does. He takes a hit there, but he's going to duck under, and he does make it, only taking one hit. And he's going to put a shell in. No, he bounces off, but the 5A does not bounce off. A ram trading pretty much equal health. The face hug is never recommended during competitive play, because then your team cannot shoot him anymore, but it doesn't really matter because the T95 is going to go down. He does put another shell in. If he's able to survive this shot, he could get the kill, but he's unable to, and now suddenly it's a 1 versus 5. How will Warrior pull this one off? 51% of the hit points left on the enemy team, meaning he has to burn through probably about 7,000 health. Is he going to be able to do it? Well, it's possible, but not likely, as the enemy team does seem to be rolling up on him. He seems to want to kill the 5A, which is a good idea. 5A is now on his right. His gun gets damaged. Is he going to be able to kill the 5A? He fires, bounces off the 5A's turret, it looks like there, as everyone else closes in, puts their shells in, and finishes off the M60, giving Koala Army win number 2. So, what we do now is we go over to here, go doop, remove, yes, and add this one. Boop. Koala Army has 2 points. while Sins has 0. Now the play of the game, and he also did the most damage, I would have to say, was this chieftain for taking that middle location. As soon as he went there, the E5 could do nothing, and neither could the other chieftain. And as you can see, both of them did no damage. This guy got one penning shot with HE. So he hit one shot with HE, and the other one was unable to actually connect any shots because he was getting hit from 2 angles. The sides, 3 angles. The front and the rear, of course, by the Leopard 1. Well played by this chieftain for taking that location. He took it at just the right time. He and the 5A were able to fight off the enemy chieftain from taking it, and then from there, they were able to take it and get amazing cross shots in. But yet again, fantastic spread across the board, minus the IS-7, who I think was kind of the spearhead of the attack. So he did his job. That's why you take an IS-7 into these kind of battles, not to deal damage quickly, but instead to get places quickly and take the hits for your team if, in fact, needed. So we're going to... And on Ensk, we'll see what they want to do. Do they want to go with a more heavy tank route? Do they want to go more tank destroyers? Do they want super heavies? Maybe some medium tanks and flank around? Do they want to turtle up in some of the blocks? Who knows? They do, I'm sure, but I don't. There seems to be a cat scratching at the door. Bless me, thank you. It was kind of a sneeze cough at the same time. Like, it sounded like a sneeze, but it was really a cough I was trying to hold in so I could mute myself, but I failed to, and so it came out sounding like a sneeze because my throat became very, very dry. I've gone through 1, 2, 3, almost 4 cups of water already. Well, that's me, you know. 268 version 4. What a strange choice. I would prefer, if I was going to take a super heavy tank destroyer, a slow one, the Jagdpanzer would be good, because the Jagdpanzer's got the bigger, more accurate, higher penetrating gun. So that would be a good choice. And it's also more mobile. Or the E3, because yet again, it's got a bigger, better gun, and in fact, more armor. So... we'll see. Actually, they've deselected. Maybe they're like, no, don't pick that. Meanwhile, over on the Sins side, they have an E100, a pair of mouses, a Type 5. The one issue with the Type 5 Heavy is most people are going to be shooting premium rounds, and that kind of defeats the Type 5 Heavy's armor. The gun on the Type 5 also isn't any good. The 14 centimeter is decent as long as you're able to pen your shots, but you only have 282 pen with your premium rounds, making it very difficult to deal with VK-72s, Object 268 version 4s, and mouses. So, maybe not the best choice. And if you use the HE gun, you're doing almost no damage to them anyway. But 3 mouse tanks. Wowee. 2 E100s, a Type 5. That's a lot of health. So, the play now for Sins would be to keep your tanks together and just continuously push the enemy into a corner, because you're going to be outmaneuvered. You're going to probably be out DPM'd, but you're not going to be out traded. You're going to win every trade you make in this game. You just have to be willing to do it. What Koala Army needs to do to win this game is to kill the T-95 and the 430U first. Then after that, they need to focus fire on the E100s, and then kill the mouses probably before the Type, just because the Type's gun isn't very dangerous. You want to kill the most dangerous guns first, and you also want to kill the tanks that are going to be easier to kill first. Shooting a mouse and bouncing off does nothing for your team. It makes it so you have to reload, and you've done no damage. You always want to make sure you shoot for sure damage in competitive. So we'll see what they do here. See if they're going to be going for damage, or kills, or getting trolled by the armor of the mouse. We'll see if they go for the T95 E6 or a mouse if they have shots on both. So we shall see. But to counter this, what I would do is I would have a couple of E4s. And Banner is not a player. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure he is not a player. Most likely. So we'll see. Destroyer is reselecting. He's going to be picking a mouse. But anyway, the reason the E4 is so good is because its APCR rounds have 375 millimeters of penetration. That will go through the upper plate of a mouse every single time. So, yeah. And, yeah, they will kill mouses very, very quickly, get them out of the game. E100, though, is a little bit different. You can't go through the upper plate of an E100 with APCR from an E4 unless you roll really, really high and you're slightly above them. And the Type 4 is just a pinata at that point. So, yeah. But I think an E4 would be a fantastic counter. But they're not pulling that out. They have a 268 version 4. A 57 heavy. That's a risky choice in this kind of a setup. Because is 57 heavy's controller gun is very good, but very troll. You're gonna have to hopefully put your 4 shots into a mouse and at least pen 2 or 3. Otherwise, you're gonna have to reload for 20 seconds, come out of the fight, wait to reload, go back in, and then you have an inconsistent gun again. However, if that thing is able to get behind or to the side of those super heavies, it's going to be devastating for sure. But the 57 heavy doesn't have very good armor. It can get defeated rather quickly. So let's see what they do with that 57 heavy. That might be their downfall. The Bat Chat is also it's a good idea, but with 3 mediums for Sins, that Bat Chat is not going to be allowed to play how it wants to play. The thing about Bat Chat on this map is there's not much room, and so you like being the only medium tank. However, it's going up against 3 medium tanks, so it might not be allowed to flank and move around and do what it wants to do. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. I think that the tanks over on Sins are the better choices. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens here in this kind of a battle. An Object 705A. Oh. With these E100s, it could get one-shotted. The E100's gun is capable of one-shotting a 705A if it catches it in the side, because that side armor is bad and that ammo rack is bad. It could get one-shotted. And if that happens, it's going to be a severe disadvantage yet again for Koala Army. I think they're going to have to crawl uphill to win this one. Just slightly crawling up the hill. So we'll see. Because, like I said, there's a lot of health over on Sins and not so much over on Koala Army. There is more DPM on Koala Army, though. 57 Heavy and Chieftain, fantastic DPMs. And a Jagdpanther. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9. There's 9 players. Who is not supposed to be playing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've not gone crazy. I have not gone crazy. So who's not supposed to be playing? That's the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's an extra tank. There is an extra tank. Hopefully they'll sort it out. This is why both teams need to be in the battle chat. Oh, I'm not even in the battle chat. It's my fault. Okay. The Destroyer Boy is in fact a player. Well, I mean, I knew he was a player, but he is playing. So who's not supposed to be playing? That's a good question, and I don't know. Do I not recognize any of these? I think I recognize them all. Huh. We shall see. Being better is typing in chat. And back kick is nowhere to be found. Is back kick playing this game? He is. He's in the mouse. Let's see what he says. He just spectated T95, and he's going. They're launching. All right. We'll see what happens. They benched a T95 E6, but I don't see any response from back kick. I think they just wanted to, like, we're just gonna go for it. So we shall see. One of the Sins invites you to the party. Message them. It's not up to me. I'm just a streamer. All right. So, let's see how this goes. E4 is spawned in a fantastic position. Wow, this E4 is going to be able to put one, maybe even two shots into the tanks as they cross, and that's going to be 1,700 damage he can probably do. If I was the E4, I would roll up to right about here, and I would just sit here and wait for that mouse and that Jagdpanzer to cross. Let's see if he does it. Batchat is going out to spot, and the E4 is in position. He's not where I would have gone, but that's okay. He's got a wall in front of him. He's going to knock it down, aim up a shot. Let's see him put these shots in. Is he going to find it? Mouse is crossing. Here he comes. Oh, he bounces it. He fired prematurely. If he had waited a second longer, he would have had the side shot of the other mouse, and unfortunately, he bounced off the side scraping back kick mouse. But here comes the Type 5. He's going to be loaded in time to hopefully put another shot into this Type 5. There it is. He fires off. He actually puts it into the mouse as he's crossing, and he pens him there. So now, I still think Sins has the advantage on hit points. However, that shot will probably make the difference. Unfortunately, he could not put two shots in. Two shots would have been huge for Koala Army. But here they go. Koala Army are going towards the outside here, and one of them does get spotted. Who does he get spotted by? The 430U. Shots are exchanged, but nobody penetrates. 705A has not been spotted. He is side-scraping the corner. Chieftain puts a shell in. T95 puts a shell in. They trade with each other very evenly indeed. So nothing really happens. Jagdpanzer's in a position to shoot down this way, but nobody's actually pushing down this way. On the other side, we have a 268 version 4 getting ready to shoot down. The Jagdpanzer does get spotted. Will the 2684 find a shot? Doesn't look like it. If the Jagdpanzer backs up at all, he will be in the line of fire. He's not backing up, though. He's instead side-scraping. If the 268 version 4 is shooting heat, the shell could go through his superstructure. Shell bounces off the superstructure there. Is good bait there. And the T95 E6 takes a big hit from the 705A, giving Sins quite an early lead, because now they're up probably on hit points now, if not even on hit points. But the Sins do not have the DPM that Koala Army has. They need to get this E100 into play, who's actually... This E100, let's see, what is he doing? Yes, he's joining the fight. They have two tanks down this way who are actually not in the fight on Koala's team. They could win this fight, but this mouse takes another hit from the 705. The 705 will win this engagement side scraping. What the mouses and E100s need to do is just use their health to push into their team, I think, at this point, because they're not going to win a side scraping battle against a 705A because you can't penetrate the turret. And 705, however, can penetrate the Germans' turrets when they're side scraping. However, HE does appear to work. 200 damage. Oh, it is the Type 5 Heavy who is shooting HE, and he did not even get spotted. Looks like he was able to catch the drive wheel of this 705A and was able to put it in. Oh, there is a mouse on Koala Army's team as well. Look at that. And over on the other side, the Jagdpanzer is rolling up. They're actually going to possibly be flanking. No, they get cut off instead by the 268, who is halting them for the time being. T95 E6 is in a very dangerous position. Jagdpanzer is not loaded yet. Yes, he is loaded. He bounces off the 268 version 4, who's going to return fire. Is he going to pen him? He has a shot. It's a tough one. Now he's got a nice clean lower plate shot. He hits him in the upper plate there. 430U rolls in. I think he got flustered by the 430 and he decided he wanted to shoot him, changed his mind, went back to the Jagdpanzer. Because of that, he goes into the upper hull. I think they need to realize that he puts it in. The 268 version 4 does not have good DPM, and they can kind of ignore him and get this guy into the battle. But another shell goes into the 268 version 4, but the T95 E6 is now tracked in front of the 268 version 4 and E4. However, he is reloading. Here comes the mouse. He's coming in to support this side, and I think this is the side that does need to be won. The hit points are even again, but you have to remember there is more health, or the hit points done are even again, but there is more health on Sin's team, so they are probably up on health by maybe even 2,000. The type is still full health, and he has been putting good HE shots in. Let's move on to the perspective of Koala Army now. They have a few tanks, especially the 57 Heavy, who can't really do anything right now. And I think that what they should do is with their Batchat is do some kind of flank, which they have done. Look at that. They're one step ahead. Is he going to be able to find some shots? But we have a 430 trying to cut him off. He's not going to be able to catch him. And the T95 E6 is going to be joining the chase as well. And so is the E100. The overmatch is now on Koala Army's side. They might be able to just push in and win this now versus these couple of tanks. Because now the E100 and Type 5 are not in a position to help. And these three tanks are by themselves and they could push in. Here comes the VK. He's going to be doing just that. He's going to be putting in some easy side shots into the side of these mouses. He's probably going to be shooting. What he's going to do is he's going to shoot the Jagdpanzer right in the side because he's going to prioritize the gun. Is he going to do that? No, instead he puts it into the side of the mouse, which is quite an interesting play considering Koala is a very experienced player in regards to competitive. The right play there was, in fact, to shoot the Jagdpanzer E100, who was a one-shot for him. Get him out of the game, and then this E4 and 5A are free to push in. But because he didn't do that, they cannot push in anymore. Now they're getting shot in the sides, and they've been halted. However, Formula goes down. What was he in? I think he was the T95 E6. Chieftain comes around the corner. Is he going to take a hit? Good shot there into the E4 by the E100, who's using this small gun. Quite interesting if they did that on purpose. Maybe they don't quite have the gun there, but it is what it is. Here comes the mouse. He's trying to get this guy off. Puts it into his tracks. He needs to angle his turret. Doesn't matter. The turret does not swivel fast enough. And now the Chieftain might be able to put 2 free shots into him. But yet again, the Chieftain should be putting shots in the Jagdpanzer. They should be killing the Jagdpanzer. The Jagdpanzer is still alive and scary. He can take away 1,000 health in a single. There we go. They finally shoot at the Jagdpanzer, but they miss. The Chieftain does. But it doesn't look like it matters because the health is dropping rather rapidly for Sins. Bounce another shell off of the mouse, and they're still focusing, strangely enough, on this one mouse. There he goes. He finishes him off. That's what he needs to do. 430 now is in a flanking shot position. He needs to focus out the Chieftain first. And now the Jagdpanzer might be able to put a shot in unless this E4 gets to the side. The E4 donks the shell, and the 430 puts a shell into the side of the E4. The Jagdpanzer is going to be actually loaded in time to put another shell in unless the 705A is able to penetrate him. 705A is going to get to his side, and he needs to put it into the side. He rolls low. The Jagdpanzer is going to be able to fire, and he finishes off the E4. That's a huge RNG upset right there because now the Jagdpanzer is still alive. Quite the misplay over on Koala Army's team. I'm not sure why they didn't execute the Jagdpanzer when they had the chance so long ago, but because they didn't, he was able to kill yet another tank. And now suddenly, this game is close, except they still have a full health Batchat, who is going to be causing some mayhem by flanking and probably putting a full magazine into this E100. Yes, that's exactly what he's going to do. He gets to his side, but he puts it into the side skirts. And that was his last shot, actually. So, yeah, this is quite interesting. But the E100 decided to chase a Batchat. You're never going to chase a Batchat. And so he's going to get away. Koala Army goes down. He's dead. He gets killed. And down goes the 268 version 4. Sins are putting up a huge fight to win this. And Fortnite Gamer bounces the return shot from the 705A. He needs to try to put a shell into his engine deck or into that Batchat. Bounces the shell from the E100's heat, and now Fortnite Gamer is going to be trying to put a shell in. He's going to put it into the Batchat instead, which is the right play. Oh, he hits the ground instead. It looks like his shell got thrown off because of he was aiming at because of the tanks in front of him. He bounces a shell from the Batchat, but the Batchat's going to be loaded. He's got 4 more shots. Batchat should be finishing off the E100, but he's not. E100 is very well angled. Oh, he gets finished off there by the 57 Heavy, but the E100 does return a shot. I don't think he actually was able to hit anyone. This is still a very close game, but 2 shots left in the Batchat is cut off by the E100, who rams him and is now not going to let him get to his side or his rear. Quite a good play. Oh, but this, as you can see here, the 5A is now set on fire, and that might do it. E100 is reloading. The Batchat is loaded. He's got to get to his side. He's got to get one shot at this. He bounces it. That might be it. Can he get around? He does. He narrowly squeezes past, but the E100 is loaded, and he finishes him off. 8% health on each team. 57 Heavy is now to the side of the Type, and he gets set on fire again. If this E100 is able to kill the 57 Heavy with a high roll, he is not able to, and the 57 Heavy pulls it out and is able to win. The fire on the Type 5 Heavy was just enough. That game was incredibly close. Had they killed the Jagdpanzer E100 when they had the clean side shot earlier, the game would never have been that close. But for some reason, the big player, Koala, and I will call him out because we're pretty good friends, he was going for damage. He should have killed the Jagdpanzer, but because he didn't, that game got incredibly close. Type 5 did 3,300 damage. Unfortunately, the Type 5 got set on fire twice. If he did not, that game would have been different. 100% different. What a close game. Holy cow. Whew. That was a cool game. Play of the game is going to be the 57 Heavy at the end there. His shots came in clutch, and he found the shots and he put the shots in. The E100 though, the plays by Iceman that game were phenomenal too. He narrowly was able to pull the victory out for his team. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to. If the Type 5 did not get set on fire twice, I think they could have done it. But that was a good game. It was a fantastic game, but that is going to go to Koala Army. It was, in fact, a best of 5, but every one of those games was fairly close. The second game, not as close. But otherwise, these teams were very evenly matched. And it just came down to who made the least amount of mistakes. And in the end there, barely Koala Army is able to get through by the skin of their teeth. This guy was a one-shot. This guy was a one-shot. He would have been a one-shot with a high roll from the E100. So, very close games there indeed. Well played to both teams. That was a pleasure to watch. I love the close games. They're my favorite things to see. Definitely indeed. Let's see if they're going to be playing another one or if that's it. That might be it. We'll see. They're talking. GG's, we can play the other spawn if you want. Yeah. We finished with lower tier traits. Still play hard though. Same. Rather do tier 10. We don't have 8. Okay. I'll just spawn tier 10 then. Switch spawns, but not specs. We don't have to make it hard. Okay, I don't switch the specters. Okay, they're doing one more game, guys, just because they want to try the other spawn. That's fair enough, of course. This isn't a ranked match. This is more of a scrimmage. So these teams are still trying to get a grasp on competitive. Not all. Most of these guys actually haven't done competitive before. So Leopard 1 on this map. Quite an interesting choice. Very interesting indeed. Alright, I'm gonna just chug some water. Good stuff. And was I chosen to be the announcer for this? No, I kind of volunteered. I'm the only streamer. Well, for now, who's doing this, so yeah. And I don't usually do Saturdays. I'm not going to be doing any more Saturdays, but I'm doing today. A game now, and then I have another game, which I'll be streaming and playing in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, come to that. We're going to be playing. Zeta is going up against probably the best team out there. So, we're probably going to get crushed, but we're going to go down swinging. We're going to put everything into it. And, hey, if we lose, we lose. And if we win, that would be cool too. Of course, losing matches is... You learn a lot more from losing than you do winning. So, and playing against a really good team, we'll be able to learn their strats a little bit and maybe try some of our own. So, we'll see how that goes. And we'll be streaming that again at 8 p.m. So make sure you rejoin us for that. And remember, people who are watching this, maybe you're a Unicum or you're a good player. These teams, there is no stat requirement to be on these two teams. We have Sins on the left. None of them are in the same clan, but they are on the same team in this league. And then the Koala Army is the same thing. People who watch Koala Mentality's YouTube or a bunch of them are in that clan. And yet again, there is no rule for stats. So you might be used to smarter plays in the competitive, but for some of these people, this is their first time doing competitive gameplay. So you gotta, and that's why I'm making very critical comments like he should be doing this, he should be doing that, because hopefully these guys will watch this later and then they'll be like, he's right, I should have done this, I should have done that. Oh, you know what, this would have been a better play. Oh, now that I'm seeing what he's seeing, he's absolutely right. And so hopefully this will help them. And I want these players to all be fairly decent at competitive, and they will be. In fact, doing competitive, you become very good in the pub game mode as well. So, we're going to be very critical on anything they do today. And hopefully that helps them. Hopefully that helps them indeed. But what have we got going on now? Yet again, there's an extra player. I think Banner Cheetah is not a player. And another extra. What is going on? There seems to be some lack of. Oh, the M4 I don't think is a player as well. So the M4 and the Leopard aren't players, I believe. What is this? I just got pinged. This guy says he blocked 8,000 damage. Did he really? Let's take a look real quick. Don't worry, Destroyer Boy. You guys will win. You may not win today, but you have to remember you're fighting Koala, who is an very experienced competitive caller for PC. Okay? He has had many years of experience. Many. Alright. So apparently I missed somebody's play of the game. Let's see this. Where is... Oh, damage block. 268 version 4 blocked 8,000 damage. Wowee. Looks like he bounced 4 shots from the Jagdpanzer. That lost the game then, right there. That's what lost, for sure. Damage blocked 4,000. Actually, a lot more damage seems to have been blocked by the Sins guys, but they just didn't have the DPM to fight out. Good job. Good games. He didn't even get mentioned. I apologize, okay? Now you're getting mentioned. But you'll be in the middle of a game by the time you hear this. What is going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I don't think these guys are playing. I think some of these guys aren't in Sins, but we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do indeed. I would offer to play, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to play right now. We need a timer. That's what we need. We need something that counts down. Because this has been over an hour, and they're only in their 4th game. It's a little bit long. But that's okay. That's okay. Back to battle chat. He's not with them, he says. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do a 10 versus 10. That would be cool. It's a lot more hectic and harder for the caller. I wouldn't recommend 10 versus 10s if you're new. I think 7 versus 7 is a really good place to start. If you're new to competitive, 8 versus 8 is doable, but that extra tank is actually a huge difference. The difference between 7 versus 7 and 8 versus 8 is actually pretty big. Because that 8th tank, because at that point, the hit points don't matter as much like they do in the 7 versus 7. So the 8th tank, you can really gamble. You can gamble a light tank. You can gamble an artillery unit. You can gamble an extra tank destroyer, So that's the difference between 8v8 and 7 versus 7. But we'll see what they do here. waiting on Cheetah to pick a tank. Is he even on the team? I haven't noticed him. If he is, I'm a terrible person for not noticing. For sure. But that's what I do. Indeed. There we go. Where is he? What did he pick? An E100. So that's cool. So I enjoy I enjoy commentating a whole lot. I just wish I didn't have lupus. It would make commentating a whole lot easier. Like, I would love to be a professional commentator. I really, really would. I just need to get better at it. I say a lot. And then I cough because I dry. My mouth dries rather rapidly. Very rapidly. This is a full... Okay, so that's another 3 cups of water. So I've had 6 cups of water so far in the last hour, and my mouth is still completely dry. You are the M4 player, okay? And you're on the C. It's difficult because you guys don't share the same tag, but you know I'm just terrible at this job, you know. Yeah, if you get a team destroyed, maybe Clan Klongai wants to play. Maybe they want to get their own team going because there's 200 people in Clan Klongai, right? C1 and C2. So for sure. And remember, there is a 3-minute delay. So if some of you guys are like wondering why I'm not responding to your comments, that's probably why. And when I end the stream, I won't be around to answer your questions. And you might be really confused. Like, why didn't he answer my question at the end of the stream? Well, it's because he probably ended 3 minutes before you asked the question. So, yeah, and they played Zeta. Their first ever competitive game, they played Zeta. And Zeta, it's not the same original Zeta team as it was 2 years ago that was able to beat Nightmare and Immortals. But they didn't beat them every time, but they could. It was like, 25% chance. But, it's still a hard team to face, is Zeta right out the gate. I think Zeta, if you were to rank them in gold, silver, or bronze, they would probably be either low gold or high silver. So that is a harder team to fight. Koala Army, this is their first time playing competitive together, so it's tough to say where they would be. But yeah. And am I going to stream the Zeta game later today? Yes, I am. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they're about to start this game because I'm sitting here waiting for them to start so that, we can wrap this up with a nice, neat little bow. If the 4005 is banned, is the Death Star banned as well? You can ban up to 2 tanks, so if you want them both banned, ban them both. They're very different tanks. The 4005 has a 0.6 seconds faster aim time, which makes it a whole lot more deadly. So, you have to consider that. They're different tanks. However, at the lower tiers, reskin tanks count as the same tank. Okay, if the Centurion is banned, all the Centurions are banned, in my opinion. I think that makes sense. I don't know why anybody would ban the Centurion, but that's just my take on it. If the Defender's banned, the 252U is banned. Right? So, however, if the Borsig is banned, I don't think the Iron Rain is banned. And if the Iron Rain is banned, I don't think the Borsig is banned. But, tanks that are very, 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 very similar. Like, complete, just reskins, those all get banned if they're the same. And they do need to make crossplay. And we do need a timer. Because this is ridiculous. Pick your tank! I have played competitive for a very long time, and I will say I have never once been on a team which takes more than 2 minutes to pick their tanks. It's very easy to click A, believe it or not. And it's like, I don't understand why people can sit there for 7 minutes not picking a tank. It's one of my pet peeves. I do have them. I do have pet peeves, and that's one of them. It's like, what? What are you doing? What, did you go get like a manicure or something going on right now? Like, what's going on? Do you want to, click A? There we go. Perfect. Now launch. Okay, the teams are even. Chew gum, it helps. That's probably a good idea. Actually, that's a great idea. I just don't like chewing gum in a mic, That's weird. Let's get the music going again. What are we on to now? Brothers in Arms is what it's called. Let's turn it up a little. Here we have on Sin's team a Jagdpanzer E100, the FV 4005, the Object 430U, T95 E6, Chisel, IS4, Object 277, Type 5 Heavy, VK7201, Mouse, 2 E100s, and an AMX M445. And over on Koala Army, they have a WZ115A, a Mouse, a VK7201, a T57 Heavy, 2 Object 705As, a Batchat, 2 Object 430s, Jagdpanzer E100, T110 E4, and Object 268 version 4. I'm falling asleep. I'm getting older here. I'm letting them know. I'm getting older. It's been... Okay, the last match ended at exactly about 4... I think it was exactly 4 o'clock. I've developed 4 new gray hairs. Wait, why am I playing? Why am I not spectating? Alright, I'll play a tank, but I ain't joining no party. Alright, boys, I'm playing. What do I want to play? I'm not even gonna ask them. I'm playing the E50M. Can't stop me. You can't stop this. You can't stop the E50M. No, I'm spectating now. What have they done? Okay. Woo. We're beginning, boys. How's coronavirus in Massachusetts? Everywhere. You don't realize just how everywhere it is. My brother, he works in the front lines. And he's like, oh, he's a doctor or nurse? No, he's a janitor. And he's in charge of the place he's in charge of. The whole building has been infected by it. Not the whole building, but a lot of people in it. And it's nobody's allowed to really move around there anymore because of that, because there's so many people there who are sick. And so his job is to clean the place constantly. And he was afraid to come home. He's like, I don't really want to come home. He's like, I might just stay out here and live with my coworker for a little while, because it's like we're exposed to this stuff every single day. It's our job to clean it up. And I'm like, wow, that's something you don't realize, is the janitors are so important right now. And yeah, but he's backwards. Like, don't worry about it. And so, yeah, that's what it is. But here we go. We've got 14 versus 14. I don't like these because then they feel a little bit much like pub matches. But we'll see what they do, and everybody's crashing into everybody. Holy cow, Koala Army is huge. But let's see what they do. Let's get some nice early shots. There's so many people, so many early shots are going to be found. And now there's a traffic jam. Oh, boy, that's no good. Who's going to take hits? Lone Killer fires off. So, oh! He puts it in, and he full pens the Object 430, who is now down to a 1 shot. He's not feeling good about that. Dude, tell us, sir, how did that feel? How did that feel? Tell us. That poor guy. I thought the 4005 was supposed to be banned, but apparently not. He puts the shell in. Type 5 is now getting shot as he crosses. And everybody needs to just cross at the same time. Instead, they're all kind of sitting here. We'll see how this works out for them. But if they're trying to make it in the city, what you need to do is you all just need to cross at once. Safety in numbers. Spread the damage. Share the damage, you know. E4 is unspotted taking the shot, and he is unable to find the shot. But more shells go in. Was there another pen? Is that what I just witnessed? Because somebody else just dropped on health. Who was it? The Jagdpanzer lost a lot of health. Did he get penned by the 4005? Let's find out. Let's find him. 4005 is up to 3,400 damage. He did, in fact, full pen yet another tank. However, who just died? The Chisel just died. I think he rolled around the corner and was not expecting to see what he saw. More shots are going in. The 268 version 4 takes a shell and is, in fact, penetrated by someone. Someone penned him. But another hit, big hit goes in. The team's health are just dropping left and right. Over here, we have people fighting their own battles. Koala Mentality losing quite a bit of health. He's fighting a VK. The VK bounces off of him. He's not going to be able to pen him at that range. Ooh. The 430U gets ammo racked. He fixes the ammo rack. And now the map, they're capping out. I don't think they realize they're about to get capped out by Koala Army, which is probably the right play because that 4005 is putting in disgusting amounts of damage. The E100 is going to try to get in to reset, and he's not going to be able to do it. They do cap out, and Koala Army is going to take the victory here as well, winning them another game. And I think not a moment too soon, the 4005 was going to load and put in another big shell. Big damage by the 4005 in just 3 shots, 2 hits, 2 pens. If they didn't cap that base, I think the Sins may have been able to pull that one out. But they capped the base. So we sat in the lobby for 18 minutes, and we had a 3-minute game. Very cool. Yes, that is the old World of Tanks music that they no longer have in the game. But congratulations, Koala Army. You win another one. Those ones, another reason I don't like those ones is there's not much you can learn. Like, what did we learn from that one? Nothing. It was just a mosh pit of tanks, and one team could push further than the other, and that was it. That was the game. Well done. Right? So yeah, that was the game, and nothing could be learned. That was kind of one of those pointless games. So I think we're gonna have a rule on these games, especially for me being the streamer, is I will stream the match you have set up. If you want to do an extra game, it has to be the same format. If you're going to change the format, it's going to make the video a little bit more boring, the stream more boring, because now we have to take time to do that. Kind of like 2 days ago when we played Sins and we switched to a tier 6 match. It was complete chaos and confusion and boring and a waste of time. So next time, for sure, if the match is set up for tier 10, 8 versus 8s, that's what I'm streaming. If you want to switch, then I'm going to call the stream, because otherwise this is going to happen again. So, anyway, guys, I'm calling it there. Congratulations to Koala Army for winning, of course. That was it. I mean, that was the game. Well done. What did we learn? I don't know. I do not know what we learned there. But I did not lose any money. That's what I did learn. Because I did not play. So that's a good news there. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks, guys, for participating, for playing, leaving your feedback. Obviously, these are going to get better and better. Hopefully, we'll be able to make these very streamlined, these streams, as people get better at picking their tanks and better at getting ready to go quickly. So that's that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We're playing as a deaf man. Well, make sure you have vibrations on. Wait, then how do you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Yeah, your game is muted. I play, actually, without sound a lot, too. So, you and I are like the same person. But congratulations yet again. That's going to be it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. That's the stream. I'll be streaming again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3.5 hours from now. And we'll be playing Tornado. Probably getting crushed in multi-base assault. I've never played multi-base assault before. And I'm going to be the caller with a team I've only called for once before in my life. So it'll be interesting. Maybe perhaps our inexperience will throw them off as we do stupid things that they don't expect. But that's it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And I'll be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone. And peace out.